Thank you, Senator Tillis, and on behalf of Senator Testa, let me recognize Senator Hirono.
I thank both chairs for this hearing as I sit on both committees. This is for Secretary Vazirani and Secretary Jacobs. Since I have both of you here, there is a huge issue on Oahu in which veterans are having difficulty accessing critical healthcare services at the Matsunaga CBOC, which is located at Tripler Army Medical Center. Can you both look into what DoD and VA can do to make it easier for veterans to get on base for care and report back to the committees and my staff? I think this should be, I hope, a pretty easy fix, because what's happening is when our veterans try to get on base, they have their VA card, VA ID cards, and apparently that is not adequate to get on base, and they're supposed to have a DoD compliant ID. So, can both of you figure this out and make it easier for veterans to get the care that they need from the Matsunaga CBOC?
Senator, we're certainly committed to taking care of people and beyond the transition point as well. We are working through the Joint Executive Council on access to bases for veterans. We're working through a common ID to develop a common ID that can be utilized, and I certainly commit to getting back to you on a solution for.
Why can't the VA? Why can't they just use their VA ID? Anyway, that's an idea, rather than requiring them to go get a whole another ID. Next question for Mr. Jacobs. Regarding the Solid Start program, does VA track during which stage of Solid Start veterans stop responding to outreach? The idea is at certain specific time frames, the 200,000 veterans a year are supposed to be contacted within 90 days, 180 days, and 360 days. Do you keep data on when they stop responding? And I'd also like to know what are the questions that they are asked, because this program is supposed to be a check-in to help address concerns, connect the VA with resources. So do they get asked things like whether they've experienced sexual assault during their time in service, whether they exhibit suicide ideation? What kind of questions are asked of the VAs as you make these contacts?
Yeah. Thanks, Senator, for that question. So through our Solid Start program, we contact recently transitioned veterans at 3 points in the 1 year after they've left the military. It's usually around the 90, 180, and 365-day mark. In some cases, we can connect with those veterans quite easily. We send an email in advance making sure that they know, because many Americans don't answer phones, calls from numbers they don't know about. We call at each increment 7 times, and so if we're not able to successfully contact them, we move on. But then we continue to try to contact, and the goal here is really personalized, individual attention. So it's really focused on, one, making sure that if there's a mental health crisis, that we can help them. But 2, it's making sure that we're connecting them to the benefits and the care that they need, whether it's an update on their status, the status of
So I know what the purpose is of Solid Start, but is there a time frame in which the veterans stop responding to contacts? In this 1 year time frame?
We've been able to connect with about 75 to 80% of veterans through the Solid Start, but I would have to get back to you with more specific data.
Isn't there a standard list of questions that the contactor is asking so that they can ascertain whether services need to be, so they can be connected with services? Can you send me those questions?
I would be happy to follow up, and we do also try to make sure that it's open-ended so that it's not overly prescriptive, but we can get back with some more detailed information.
Thank you. My time is running out, but I did have one question, Mr. Chairman, both chairs, if I can ask about SkillBridge.
For the record.
I think, shoot.
That's
You're
okay.
not going to let me ask the question.
I can't do it. We got another panel.
Okay, sorry about that. I will submit the questions.